I'm Bill Markley, and I guess you've seen me around here for a while because we've been coming for 10 or 12 years. And Alice and I have been married now for about 52 years. In fact, it's just over 52.
I'm Alice. We were married in St. James Lutheran Church in Hallam on June 23rd, 1956. Very small wedding, about 30 people attended. It was very small.
Well, we both went to that church there most of our lives. And I was quite a few years older than Alice. I am quite a few years older than Alice. So I had kind of been out in the world, as it were, and she came along. I was aware that she was who she was because basically we were neighbors about a block apart. And as I said, I had gotten out of school, out of college, and had gone in. I was in the Navy for a couple of years and came out from that. And during those ensuing years, I had never been too much to favor the opposite sex like my wife. So it was sort of a new experience to me to get to know a girl and to really learn to appreciate her. But that's the way it developed.
His first sentence was, "Is there really any reason why we shouldn't get married?" And I said, well, I couldn't think of any. And I think then he said, well, will you marry me? It wasn't hard at all. I thought he waited an awful long time.
To ask. We've been going for about a year and a half, I suppose, together maybe.
We have 3 children. Kimberly, who is 46, Christopher, who is 44. They are adopted because I was told that I could not have children. And then the Lord has a sense of humor because when I was nearly 42 and Bill 50, God decided to open my womb and we had Jonathan, and he will be actually 30 years old on Sunday, the 1st of February. You know, I really realize now that there was commitment from the very beginning, but I probably would not have called it commitment because I'm not sure that word was even, I mean, I knew the word, but it was not a part of my vocabulary. But after we made a commitment to Christ, that became a whole other issue. And then the marriage commitment became very strong, and we recognized it. I think we recognized we loved each other. I loved this man with all my heart, but there were some long days. But then it's commitment is what carries you through. I
guess the longer that you are in this commitment, the deeper it becomes. I mean, I can honestly say that now my commitment to Alice is probably stronger than it ever was as far as really leaving. I won't say that I never crossed my mind, although not much, but I praise God because he kind of protected me, as I guess he does, protects us from situations of temptation where we might think we would do something else. And I thank God for that he's faithful to us too.
He was faithful to us when we were not walking closely with him.
Yeah, that's right.
Looking back, the faithfulness of God from the beginning is overwhelming to me, and we're very grateful for that.
And I would say one thing that most everybody has heard this when they talk about marriage, and that is it's a matter of give and take, of course that. But you don't go into it with the idea, well, I'll give 55% and take 45%. You go into it as they'll end up saying when they cite those statistics, you be willing to give 90%. I'd say be willing to give it all. And let your partner receive it from you. And I would say that maybe that causes you to put up with things that you shouldn't, and that you accept things that others wouldn't do that. I think that's an important thing. Give and take, yeah, but you be sure you're ready to give.
Well, I certainly understand that I'm not going to change this man that I married. And when I married him, I certainly thought things would change. I would have to say, the man that I married was the man that I dated. I mean, there was no difference. There was no facade. He was himself then, as he continued to be, and that is a blessing. There were no surprises in that way. At this point in time, we say we cannot imagine life without each other. And it would be our desire, if God would choose, that we could go home together. And I don't know, I guess maybe that says it all. I just don't want to do life without him. That is my desire.
That's pretty much the way I feel. You know, I cannot picture my life. And I don't dwell on that.
No,
it doesn't bother me, that thought. But the fact does remain that as you get older, you realize that sometime this is going to happen. And I certainly don't desire that at all. I mean, I'll be pretty much lost without Alice, I'll say that. Some guys might say, oh, I could handle that all right. Well, I'd handle it, of course, and I'm sure she would too. But
God will take care of whatever comes, and that's where we have to leave it.